Hi, I'm Steve Hoover, and I thought I'd just shoot this quick video for you just to bring you up to date on what's going on. And typically, if you work with my firm, you know I'm really about planning, not specific product. And sometimes there are things that come across my desk that I think would be beneficial for you to know about on a product-wise. I'm kind of hesitant about sharing this with you. As I said, I'm really more of the planning side, not a product. But I think when something comes up like this, you really need to know what's available out there. Because I never want anybody to say, well, gosh, I wish I would have known. So what I'm going to share with you is something, and it may not work for you. It doesn't work for everyone. But if you work with my firm, you know that we manage risk in our portfolios by using something that's called a fixed indexed annuity, an FIA. Okay? And a lot of people have a lot of trepidation about fixed indexed annuities. You know, there are a lot of fees, there's locking your money up, you'll never get your money back, etc. And in some cases, I totally agree. There are some out there that are really not very good. Have long surrender periods, have very low crediting rates, are very illiquid, etc. But what I'm going to share with you right now is not one of those. This one is not that at all. In fact, when we have fixed indexed annuities, we do what's called linking. We link the returns of the indexed annuity to the S&P 500. And whenever we talk about a fixed indexed annuity, basically this is how they work. The market goes like this. And on a fixed indexed annuity, basically what happens is when you make money in the account or the S&P 500 goes up, you go up with it. And then if the market goes down, you don't lose anything. If the market goes up, you make a portion. If the market goes down, you don't lose anything if it goes up. It's principal protected, meaning that the money you put in is protected. It can't go down based upon how the S&P 500 does. Secondly, any index gains that you've had in the previous years are locked in. You can't give those back even if the market goes down. And what I'm going to share with you right now is something, as I said, just came across my desk that I think you need to know about. Because on this particular fixed indexed annuity, there are two ways you can get interest. The first one is, I said, linking your returns based upon the S&P 500 index. The other is with what's called a fixed guaranteed rate of return. And right now, this particular product is guaranteeing 9% in the first year. That means you put money in, you're guaranteed to earn 9% in the very first year. Now, knowing how these insurance companies work, I can almost guarantee you that in year two, this 9% is not going to stay there. It's probably going to fall down to the guarantee of about 2.5%, which is not a great rate with the current interest rates. But 9% is significantly higher than what you're going to find anywhere else. So what do you do? So let's say you do this, you put your money in, you get 9% the very first year, guaranteed, locked in. What do? Well, the next year you have the opportunity to change your allocation. And in this case, we would change and allocate to the S&P 500. And what would happen in there? Well, when you do this, you're going to have what's called a cap, meaning that if the S&P 500 goes up 20%, you're going to have a cap of 10%. So you're going to make no more than 10. If the S&P goes up 15, you're going to get 10. That's a cap. All right. And the other side of it is, let's say they drop that cap. Well, the cap can go no lower than 6.5%. So on average, you're going to average anywhere from 10 to 6.5% on this particular one after the first year. If we back test these particular type of vehicles that are indexed to the S&P 500, they've averaged over the years about 6 to 8%. They've averaged 6 to 8%. With your principal protected, with all your current interest that you've earned locked in, and you can't give it back. Now, people will ask me, well, Steve, how do I get my money out? Well, there are two basic ways you can do that. One's called a free withdrawal. And basically each year you can get 10% of the value out free of any kind of charge. No surrender charge, no fees, nothing. In fact, on this particular vehicle, there are no fees, there are no expenses. All right. But you can only get 10% out for the first after the first year. The other way that these insurance companies guarantee your principal interest that you have to make a commitment to them to keep your money there. No different than if you go to the bank and say, okay, I want to buy a 5-year CD. You put your money in. The bank wants to know that that money is going to be there for 5 years because they take it out and do something. They lend it back out. They do other things with it. The insurance company does the same thing. So in this particular vehicle, the insurance company needs to know that your money is going to be there for 7 years. All right? 7 years. During those 7 years, you can always get out 10% of the value. After the 7th year, you can walk away with the money, do with it whatever you want to do. That's a very short period of time to keep your money in one of these type of vehicles. That's clean. There are no whistles and bells. This is basically you put the money in. First year you get 9%. We reallocate in year 2, and we're going to get anywhere from 6.5% to 10% based on how the S&P 500 index goes. That's basically what you have on this. What I would recommend that you do, if this is of interest to you, is to give my office a call at 913-685-3207, or you can go down in my signature line and schedule a quick 15-minute phone call with me on my calendar. I can go through all the whistles and all the different whistles and bells on this. I can go through all the charges because there are what are called surrender charges on this within the first 7 years, and they go down each year that you have it in there. So I'll go through everything, disclose everything to you, and then you can decide whether or not this is something that would fit within your portfolio. If it does, great, we can have that conversation. If it doesn't, then that's not a problem either. As I said, this is not great for everybody, but for some folks, this might be a good place to put some money for to kind of mitigate some of the volatility that we've seen in the stock market going forward. The insurance company, by the way, just a full disclosure, insurance company is an A-rated company called Guaranteed Income Life Insurance Company. And they have this particular one. I've not seen anything like this out in the market right now. So this is something that you really ought to probably get on because they could pull this product at any time and lock you out of getting 9% guaranteed in the first year is something I've not seen. And I've never seen it. I've been doing this over 28 years. Never seen this. So with that, make sure you give me a call, get on my calendar with my Calendly link down there, or you can shoot me an email. Love to have a conversation with you on it. I'll go through everything with you, disclose everything, because I want to make sure you understand how this works for you. So with that, I hope this is something that was of value to you. So look toward to visiting with you. Have a good day.